Bluegrass, located here at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina, or Anderson, South Carolina. Either one will get you here. Today is September 13th, 2023. The weather today is outside is 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and I think there's some kind of chance of rain today. Don't know. The high today will reach 84 degrees. Our shout outs today go to Jane, Josh, Heather, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Grant, Sil, Heidi, Charlie, Harper, and of course, always loving Martin. At Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, we have music lessons, and if you can hear in the background, that's our banjo instructor doing a little picking back there. He has all-day events here, teaching all day. We teach fiddle, classical fiddle, mandolin, bass guitar, banjo, anything with a string on it. We can teach you that. And in my opinion, we have the best instructors in the upstate. For more information on lessons or anything about the store, you can call me, Don, at 864-376-1482. Okay, our sponsor for today is Ken Cawley with Upstate Mechanical. And he's my guest today, and he's going to be here to tell us about his business and his new venture with the banjo. We also have Blaine Albertson, who is with the auctioneers out here on Interstate Highway. They sell vehicles, pickups, boats, motorcycles, RVs, anything that you can sell. Contact Blaine Albertson, and he'll be glad to get you situated with a vehicle, or if you want to sell a vehicle, contact Blaine Albertson. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. You can follow us on our social media pages, YouTube, Facebook, under Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and Instagram under BG Bluegrass. And just type in Bluegrass in the upstate, and it'll bring you right to our site. We're the only venue in town here, so make sure you type that in. Oh, we now sell pork rinds, $7 a bag. We have plain, hot, and spicy, salt and vinegar, smoky bacon, and barbecue. That's my favorite, it's the smoky bacon. And remember our coffee. It's the best coffee in the upstate, in my opinion. And we have all the flavors: Fiddle Me Crazy, Banjo Blend, Guitar Hazel, Mandolin Illa, Bass Dog, all the bluegrass instruments. We have a flavor for that coffee. So make sure you contact us for any of your coffee needs, or you can stop by the store here anytime and pick up a bag. Okay, folks, it's with great pleasure to introduce my friend Ken Cawley, who is here with us today to talk about himself. He's going to talk about his business, and he's going to talk about his new venture with the banjo. So, Ken, it's great to have you on our show today. Good morning.
Welcome. I appreciate the opportunity to come. I've been visiting here at Breazeale's Grocery several times, and decided to pick up one of the instruments.
Yeah. Well, tell us about yourself, where you're from, where you live, how you got started in your HVAC business, and so on and so forth. And then we'll go from there to the banjo.
Sure. Originally from the Michigan, lower part of Michigan, but I've been here since 1979, so this is definitely my home. I have a small air conditioning business. I do mostly residential and light commercial work, duct work, mini split change outs. Most of the heat pumps that I sell are the Lennox brand. We have a few other brands available, but that's our premier brand. So.
Yeah. So you're heating. How'd you get started in heating and air business?
I've been worked on and off with my dad and my uncle. Had a heating and air business up in Westminster for about 20 years, and I worked with them for 10 of those years, and then I went back to school, got a master's degree, worked out in the corporate world for 5 or so years, and decided that I wanted to go with my own business.
Yeah. Well, it's a good business, you know. I know that I'm in the construction business, especially in the summer times. We always need a heating and air guy at some point, you know. to keep our homes cool and hot in the wintertime. So I appreciate these guys. He also, as you know, we had a cooler that went out, and I had a spare one in the back, a Coca-Cola cooler. I had a spare one in the back, so I called that number, and I don't know what happened, but they used to service that unit, but I got his number. He called me back, but he wasn't affiliated with the Upstate Mechanical that was up the road here. I don't know what happened there. So anyway, he answered my call, and he came pretty quick, and he's a busy guy. So he came pretty quick and looked at the situation and figured out that that the cooler that I had in the back that I bought years ago for spare, that was a better cooler than the one I had in here. Those things are heavy. So he said, check that one out and put a little gas in it. And he said the compressor was bad, but that's a better cooler. So he ordered me a new compressor, and those aren't cheap, are they? No. And so he ordered me a new compressor, and it came in, and he came over and put the new compressor on, got it working. I cleaned the old one up back there pretty good, and got it working cool, great. So my wife and I came up here, and I had to cut the counter out so I could get the old one out and get the new one in. I got the new one in and put the counter back. That was a day project, and cleaned it up a little bit more and put all the drinks and everything in there. And let me tell you, that thing works like a jewel. It's worked better than any one I've ever had. The old one, it made a lot of racket, and it seemed like the compressor would never shut down. When it did, it wasn't long, but you hear anything now? Nope. The old one in here, you'd hear a machine going. So thank you for helping me out at the store. So he's my new mechanical guy here for all my heating and air stuff at the store. And he's also a newcomer to the bluegrass world, music world. He just bought a banjo, and we'll let him tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit. But anyway, so about a couple weeks ago at my house, my air went out. So I called him. He was at his mom's. She lives in Seneca. And he said, well, I'm on my way back home. I'll stop by. He stopped by and looked at my air conditioner, and there was a capacitor. Mm-hmm. The capacitor had gone bad. I mean, it took him, maybe 10 or 15 minutes to go back there, took the old one, checked it. Yeah, it's bad. Went out to his truck. He had one on his truck, put it on. I'm back in business. Back cool air. So I appreciate, Ken, you taking that. So took care of me pretty quick. And that's because he was en route back to his home. So I appreciate him doing that. So folks out there, that if you're in the area and you need heating and air work, contact Ken McCauley. And I don't have his number up there again, but we'll get the producer back there maybe to shout me your number. Well, tell them your phone number.
Yeah, my phone number is area code 864-356-2630. And we do carry a lot of gases for the old reach-in coolers and walk-in coolers as well, if there's any store owners out there. So
yeah. Oh, by the way, talking about refrigerants, whatever you call that, he had a tank about this big. He said, you know, I had to pay for that tank, and they don't use that refrigerant all the time because it's an old refrigerant, right? So he probably still has what he used on the store here. How much was that little tank?
I think they run around $900 for the R12. So
$900 for a little tank like this. So he used a little bit in my store and gave me a little juice. So if you need some of that R12, call him. He's got some in the tank.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And they've gone over to R what?
134A is the newer ones.
Yeah, the newer one, 134As. So I'm on the old system. So he's got some in his work truck. So if you need some, contact Ken, and he'll be glad to hook you up on that. Okay, now we're going to go to your new venture with the banjo. He started a couple weeks ago. I asked him to come to the store. I said, we got some good picking, good people. And we do. We have, this is the best venue in the upstate by far. There are other venues, but not as good as this one, in my opinion. We have the best venue in the upstate. So come by and see us. Well, after I got him to fix my stuff, he kind of got a little interested, and he came and sat one Saturday night, and I guess you liked it.
Yeah,
Cause
enjoyed it.
Yeah, because he comes
A lot of
back
fun.
every Saturday, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So
good time.
then he asked me about playing an instrument, and his favorite was the banjo, which is probably generally everybody's favorite instrument to play in bluegrass. The banjo player is to be a banjo player. So I got him a banjo. Ryan Wilson's here with us in the audience today. He had a banjo, a nice banjo, that he really didn't want to depart with, but he said, I will sell it. And so he sold it to my friend, and he started taking lessons a couple weeks ago. Now, it's a long journey, let me tell you, and it's not easy because I started from scratch too. And even being a musician, I'm a fiddle player and a guitar player. I wasn't a banjo player, and it was tough for me to learn how to do that roll stuff. This was easy, but this stuff is hard. And then when you add them together, but it's a fun journey. You know, play it every day, even if it just pick it up for 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Just play something every day on it, and you'll get there eventually. I was asking my old instructor, Mr. Larry Bell, who's on that banjo cover, a dear friend. I love him to pieces, and his brother Gary Bell teaches here every week now. And I took from Larry, and I said, Larry, I said, when am I going to get there? And he would always tell me, I'll never forget this, as long as I live, he said, enjoy the journey. Yeah, just enjoy the journey, because really, I guess musicians never really get there. You know, there's always more and more and more. I would have thought there would be an end to when you play something. There's an end, but there's no end because it's endless.
Continuous learning.
Yeah. We went to a show that Mark Stoudemire, who's also in the audience with us today, and a good friend, dear friend, a great musician. He invited us to go to Nashville, Tennessee to hear Bela Fleck. I don't know if people are familiar with Bela Fleck. He's a good banjo player. He's been around for a long time. He's learned from the best, and he did a concert with the Nashville Symphony Orchestra in Nashville, Tennessee this past weekend. So we went up there and spent the night and listened to Bela Fleck play his banjo with the orchestra. Now, he's a good banjo player, a great musician by far, but not my kind of style. Yeah, he plays a little bit different, classical and what they call, what do you call that? He plays more of a melodic style banjo playing, which I guess there are people out there that like the melodic style playing. Personally, I don't like it. I like to stick with the regular Earl Scruggs playing. But he was all over that thing. He was all over it with the symphony and with the band and stuff, and did a fine job. Did a good job playing the banjo with the symphony. First time I ever heard that mix. But it was a good mix. Yeah, it was a good mix. Did a good show. I did get a chance to meet his wonderful wife. She was outside, and I just walked. Mark said, there's his wife over there. I started to walk over, and Mark grabs me. What are you doing? I said, I'm going to go over and talk to her. No. So I pulled away from him, and I went up there and started talking to her. Very nice lady, a very cordial lady, just a real nice lady. And we talked. I introduced Mark, and Jane and his son was with us, and we just talked for a little bit there before the show. And I did not know, but she's also an accomplished musician as well, and they have 2 children, live in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I was going to wait outside so I could talk to Bella and get his address and go to his house. And Mark said, no, he's probably gone. He didn't want me to talk to him. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But at some point, I'll find out where he lives, and I'll go knock on his door. Hey, Bella, you don't know me, and I don't know you, but we'll strike up a conversation. I'll go to his door selling oranges or something, apples, to introduce myself. Anyway, it was a great concert. Thank you, Mark, for the invite, and he's a great musician as well. So anyway, we did that this weekend, as that's where we went. All right, getting back to your banjo experience. Tell us about
Yeah,
how.
it's been great so far. I've had a great instructor, Gary Bell. I've really enjoyed. This is my first time with any kind of an instrument, so I'm just excited to get to play
Yeah.
and to try one out. And I love the sound that the banjo
Yeah.
makes a real distinct sound. So I'm real excited about that, and just happy to be here. So.
You got to practice every day.
Yeah, I just got it Monday. So
Yeah, every day. Even it,
excellent.
and I know it's and Larry told me this one time. He said, "Don't put your banjo at home in the case. You won't play it because then you got to open it up, take it out." He said, "Put it in a stand in a room where you go by it every day." So I have it in my music room in a stand with my music right there in a stand. So when I go in there to change clothes, I see the banjo and I say, well, I got 15 minutes or 30 minutes. And next thing you know, I'm there for an hour playing
That's
it.
great. Yeah,
So
that's
put it in a place where you walk by all the time, out of the case, in a stand. If you don't have a stand, I'll give you a stand. We got plenty of stands around here. To make sure it's in a stand where you go by it all the time because it'll draw you. Once you get the fever like you got, it'll draw you. So when you go by there, you go, I better sit down. I know I got to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, but I better sit down for at least 10 or 15 minutes and play this thing. It's the only way I'm going to get good, you know. So you keep playing that thing, and you have a family of musicians here at the store that's just right down the road from his house. He rode his bicycle here the other night. He lives real close. So you have a family of musicians here that will help you. You know, musicians in general, not just bluegrass, but musicians in general, they like to help other people get to where they need to go.
Right.
You know?
I did experience that. I came Tuesday and
Yeah.
sat in on the group.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few beginner banjo
Yeah.
and strings that were playing, and I liked how everybody took time and allowed everybody a chance to participate.
Yeah, that's right.
Play, so.
Yeah, so you keep coming to those. The last one that we taught this past Tuesday was Jack Ellenberg, who used to own a bluegrass venue here in town. A very good teacher, a good musician, and a great guy. And Mark Stoudemire does it we do it twice a month, and Mark does one, and he does one. And, you know, they don't charge for this. I mean, they just give their time because they love music, because they want to teach others how to play a music that they love so much. So they don't charge anything. They come, take their time out to come here and be here once a month. And we had, how many people did we have? About 10 or 12?
15, yeah, 10
Yeah,
or 12 people.
15 maybe at the most. So we have a pretty good crowd, and it's free of charge. We do have a little bucket out there if you want to donate a couple of bucks for the power and stuff like that. You can. So it's twice a month, and it's here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. And you're welcome. It's free. It's a 2-hour session, so just come in. If you're a beginner, and whatever level you are, come in and grab a chair and sit down and have fun with us and pick with us. A lot of fun, huh?
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, you'll enjoy it if you come down and check it out.
Yeah, man, come down and check it out. Yeah, we have fun. And sometimes I'll grab my fiddle over there and do a little fiddle playing with the young lady, Linda, here, that plays the fiddle as well. I just love music in general all the way around. I wish I was as good as some of these folks. You know, my son, Martin, who's behind us on that picture, I don't know if you can see him now, but my son, Martin, he picked it up. I don't know where he got the ability. Well, my dad was a musician, but it skipped me. It went to my son, Martin. He would pick up his banjo, he'd listen to a CD or something out in his truck, and he'd listen to it a couple of times. He'd play it note for note. I can't do that. I take a song, takes me about 6 months to learn it. And that's listening to it, got the music, coming over here every day and practicing it. People like Mark Stoudemire, I go to his house once a week, and it's a struggle for me, you know. But some people get it pretty quick, and I guess maybe the older you get, the harder it is to learn music. I don't know. I should have started when I was young, but I didn't. I was into too many other things that weren't good. So, okay, so you're playing the banjo. and you come here as much as you can, right?
Right, yeah.
He lives right down the road, like I said. And you got to put it where you can go buy it every day and say, I got to pick this up. You might want to buy an extra one, buy another banjo, put it in your truck. When you go to work and have a lunch break, pick up your banjo and pick it a little bit. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's just a load of fun. So, okay, so he told us about your business, about yourself, about the banjo. Anything else you want to tell us about?
No, other than your upcoming trip to Tennessee,
Yeah,
to
Spigma.
Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah, let me talk about Spigma. He's going. He's going, folks, if you want to go to Spigma, and that stands for the Southern Preservation of Bluegrass Music Association. That's what Spigma stands for. It's an event that happens once a year, the end of January, 1st of February, every year. It's a huge event. We've been going for maybe 12 years, I guess. I've already got 15 rooms set aside. I do every year. I've got about half of them already taken. I've got 5 or 6 more to, but by the time the end of the month comes, I'll have to probably call Monica and say, I need some extra rooms, you know, because I always get people at the last minute want to go. So it's a great event. And I promise you, when you go, you'll come back a different person. You'll come back sleeping with that banjo in his bed every chance he gets to be picking it. It just gives you an extra hump towards playing the instrument that you're playing. You see all kinds. There'll be beginners, there'll be professionals, there'll be middle of the liners, kids, older people, all kinds at Spigma. And by the way, get plenty of rest before you go, because you won't get no rest when you go there.
And I have tried the Breazeale's coffee, and it's really tasty. I've been drinking it regularly, and I went out and bought a little brew pot because it's bagged coffee. So
Yeah.
I was able to get a little brew pot.
Oh, good. He buys another coffee guy. He buys our blends of coffee. You buy the regular. Yeah. All the flavors are good, but my best seller is the regular, the banjo blend, and actually a year ago he got it's a better roast. It's a deeper roast of coffee now. He got a better bean, so it's a much better bean than it was previous. Of course, all his coffee is always good, but yeah, thank you for that input for my coffee. Yeah, I can't. Matter of fact, I got about 4 bags on the shelf. I usually have about 25 bags on the shelf. I got to bag some more and get it up on the shelf. And we're getting ready to do a new venture with the coffee. We'll be coming up with a new website pretty soon just for the coffee business. Mr. Ryan Wilson is helping me maneuver all that into a separate website just for the coffee business. Because coffee business is a big, big business. And I've never really taken it to that level because it's just me. So I've got Ryan Wilson's coming on board, and I think we're gonna go for it. We're gonna take it to the next level.
One thing that I enjoyed about the coffee is it didn't seem to have as much acid in it as Starbucks and some of the other brands. Seemed like a real mellow.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Drinking coffee.
Yeah, I've heard that before. And Mark Stoudemire's wife, Julie, she could not drink coffee. She'd get a headache. So she tried my banjo blends, didn't get a headache. And I'll bet you that's why.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe some of the preservatives that they add in other coffees. But yeah. Thank you for that. We'll have to put him on the payroll, Ryan, pushing our coffee business. Okay, anyway, yeah, we got the best coffee around. Breazeale's Grocery, Bluegrass Cafe. But you'll be seeing a different web page for the coffee business coming up soon. Once we work on all that, a lot of the logistics to get out of the way. And Ryan and he came here the other day and we sat down at the table and started doodling, putting our heads together on how to market this coffee. So we're getting ready to take it to the next level.
Sounds great.
Yeah, might put you as a coffee salesman too.
All right.
Might have to hire a couple salespeople to do the coffee business. And Mark Stoudemire over here, he's going to be one of our coffee. He's going to be in that network as well. And I got a couple other people. I'll probably let a couple more people get in on it, So anyway, that's us at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. And we got about 3 or 4 minutes left on the clock, it looks like. So anything else you might want to share with us while we're here?
Other than the fact that it's located right here in between Anderson and Liberty, great location.
Yep.
Out here on Liberty Highway. And my business isn't too far from here.
Yeah.
And again, we do mini splits and split system units, and they usually run around $2,000 a ton. Just a
Oh, is that what
ballpark
it is?
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a change out.
Now, you know, I've never heard anybody say that. I've been in the business 53 years. I never heard a heat and air guy say it's going to cost you so much a ton. So that's good. About
Right.
$2,000 a ton.
Yeah. Gives
So-
everybody an upfront fair price.
Yeah. So if it's a 3-ton, it's $6,000.
$6,000.
Now, what does that include?
That's your indoor and outdoor unit, the labor, the material, new copper line set, new thermostat.
But that's not ductwork.
Right, not duct work.
Right,
just
just
for a change out.
change
of the
out.
equipment. Right.
Well, that's good information. You guys need to know that out there in the audience. Never heard that. Okay, so remember to call Upstate Mechanical.
Yeah.
He's the man. He'll keep you cool and keep you hot in the winter, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I met this guy. You know, the Lord does things in mysterious ways, you know, because I was having a lot of, I would call 2 different people to come and do the heat and air stuff and then that stuff, because a lot of times heat and air people, they don't mess with
Right.
with
Coolers
and stuff like that. They just do HVAC work. So you got to call 2 different people. Well, guess what? The Lord sent Ken over here. He does it all, man. So I'm real fortunate that I got to meet you. And then it led to other stuff, not only our friendship, but bluegrass music. We
yeah.
got another picker in the
Another-
crowd.
More things in common than you know.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're going to Spigma with us. If you got any friends, I got rooms left. Well, usually they'll get gone. But if you know anybody, you might be talking about it, and they say, "Hey, I'd like to go." Let me know, and we'll make sure they get a room.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'm going to ask our producer how much time we got left, because these clocks up here sometimes are off. She says we have 3 minutes left on the air. Anything else?
Nothing else I can think of right off.
Nothing right now. Anybody in the audience? Anything you might want to share?
Seminar that you talked about it earlier?
Oh, yeah. Let me get a flyer right here. Give me a minute.
You'd mentioned something about an Italian bluegrass
Yeah,
group
yeah.
coming.
Yeah, we have La Terza Clase will be coming November the 10th, I believe it is. They'll be doing a Friday night show from 7 to 9. Tickets are $25. You can get them at the store. You can call me at 864-376-1482, and I'll make sure you get some tickets for La Terza Clase Bluegrass, coming all the way from Italy. They were here a couple of years ago. Great bunch of guys. A little different twist. They have an accordion and snare drum, bass, banjo, and a guitar player. By the way, their sponsor now is the guy that does the food show on TV. I was watching him the other night. Jane says, "Oh, see that guy? He's owns this company, the food show on TV. He's the guy that sponsors the guys in Italy. He's their new sponsor, so they got some bucks behind them now, so they'll be able to do a nice tour of the U.S. Also, we have a banjo workshop by Fred Breazeale coming September 30th here at the store, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $30 for the banjo workshop. He's pushing Page Capo scholarships. All the funds go to the Page Capo Scholarship for Clemson Tigertown Bluegrass, which they teach bluegrass at Clemson University now. So all the proceeds will go to there. If you want information, call me at 864-376-1482, and I'll make sure that you get this flyer, or I'll make sure that we sign you up for this program as well. So make sure you put it on your calendar. That's September 30th, 2023, from 10 a.m. here at the store till 2 p.m. The cost is $30, and it's for a well worth cause. Well worth cause. Okay, and that goes to Brian. Oh, good. Steep Canyon Rangers, September 28th at the Brooks Center at Clemson. You got to go. Steep Canyon Rangers will be performing there. And so make sure you put that on the calendar. What was the date again?
September 28th.
September 28th. So make sure you get there. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you for
Appreciate
coming
the
and
opportunity to be
sharing
here. Thank you,
all the
Don.
information with us. And we look forward to having him back again. Thank you and goodbye. See you next week. Same time, same station.